Oink oink.
That's crazy.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
welcome
whoa.
back, League mates and listeners. We're co-host Dane and
AJ.
AJ. This is episode 15 of the Pigskin Pals podcast, the Week 9 Redraft pod. The trade deadline for fantasy is coming up. The NFL one just passed this week, but there's still a lot of stuff to shake out, especially in our redraft league. So let's get stuck right into it.
Yeah, baby.
So, with the trade deadline coming up, I kind of want to take a look at the bottom team in our redraft league and just kind of see what kind of moves we would make as that manager.
I like it.
Or trades, anything like that. So, in this league, it is Parker.
Oh, man.
Another
It's
episode he
Mr.
can't watch,
Parker.
or maybe he should be watching this one.
Yeah.
But he is sitting at 2-6, which could sound bad, but it's really not that
It's
bad
not far
because
off for us.
there's 3 teams that are 3-5 above him, and then a shit ton of 4-4s.
It's wide open.
And on top is only 6-2 with one player. Like it's
It's wide ass open.
there's a lot to shake out still.
Yeah.
And he has 845 points for, which is pretty average, it looks like, in our league. Maybe a little under average.
But pretty close.
But a shit ton of points against him, I will say.
Yeah, you want to
It's
talk a
like
shit ton of
third
points
most or
against, bro.
something.
Come
Yeah,
on
holy
now.
cow, what is
Come
going
on now, bro. I got
Who
I think
emoji next year's.
I got third most points and most points against my mile, but that's the way it goes, baby.
So, looking at Parker's roster, he has CJ Stroud, Kenneth Walker, Derrick Henry, CeeDee Lamb, Rashid Shaheed, Sam Laporta, Jerry Jeudy, Deontay Foreman, and then on his bench, he has Debo, and that's about it. That's really recognizable. He has Goff on bye also.
Florida and Judy on bye this week, and
Mhm.
Kendrick Bourne's hurt, and Debo's hurt, even though Amy's on bye as well. So he looks like he might be having to play Quentin Johnston this week.
Yeah, his lineup is looking rough
Yeah.
this week. Honestly, that's why you don't trade a star running back for a tight end that you
Laporta
can
and
spot
Shaheed.
fill.
Yeah. I will say, Shaheed, the past 2 weeks, has he caught a long touchdown 2 weeks in a row? Or is it? Oh, no.
This week and then
It's every other. Yeah.
yeah,
I think he started in this past week, though. So, because I know the other week that he had a big game, he didn't start.
27% of the snaps and he scored 23 points.
He's a long touchdown or bust. That's all Rashid Shaheed is.
153 yards
Yeah.
with 3 catches, averaging 51
It's absolutely
yards a
brutal.
catch.
It's absolutely
And
brutal.
wait, how is he averaging 51 yards a catch and 51 yards per target? That's a crazy stat.
The thing, all he does is run go routes. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I
that
literally
just
think that's all he
got
does.
tech. Derek
That's
Carr
crazy.
bombed those 51 yards.
Yeah, that's crazy for sure. Crazy.
So
We
I
gotta
guess-
try and make a trade here. Is what we're doing, huh?
Yeah. So if I was his manager, if I was his team, he's got CJ Stroud and Goff at quarterbacks. I think honestly those are 2 pretty good streamable quarterbacks where I'd feel comfortable like alternating each week.
Yep, 100%.
I wouldn't really be looking for an upgrade.
No need. You don't. It's hard to upgrade QB in this league too. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
most people are just kind of fine with what they got, and QBs aren't really worth anything.
Kenneth Walker, he's pretty mid this season. Like I don't think I would sell him either, just because you're not going to get the value for him. I mean,
If
Unless
he's
you can-
gonna sell anyone, I feel like it almost has to be Kenneth Walker, right? Kenneth Walker. It depends who you sell it to, because
With
he's been having a pretty
Charbonnet.
good year, right? Until he got hurt, and then when he got hurt, it seems like the only thing I'm attributing Zach Charbonnet's usage last week is they were just kind of snap counting Walker. I think he's the only guy that you could maybe split, because no one I don't think really wants Derrick Henry these days. CeeDee Lamb you could split, but I think you don't
I
have
want
in your
Derrick Henry. I think I just sent him a trade offer.
Okay.
was-
It's one of his
it was-
either way, it's gonna have to be one of his running backs because his wide receivers are so thin.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Well,
actually
what would you
almost say
do?
Debo.
Would you accept this trade? I sent him Chris Godwin and Najee Harris for Derrick Henry.
If I'm him right now, I think I would do that simply because he needs players that can play football on his roster. And
And I would feel comfortable doing it because I'm just gonna try and buy into the Titans
yeah,
early with
with
Levis
Levis.
playing,
Yeah.
and hopefully the offense stays hot like that. I highly doubt it does, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was willing to take the stab just because I have wide
Sure.
receiver depth and I need a running back upgrade.
There's if I'm him also, I'm seeing if anyone really likes Debo Samuel. He's hurt, but he's on bye, so I would assume he probably I don't know, I haven't looked into it. I'm assuming he's probably coming back after the bye week. He's been
I
out
would think
for
so
a
too.
while,
He's been
a
out for
couple
two
games.
weeks,
Yeah,
three games
I would
basically.
say he's probably coming back. You could use that to your advantage. Get just two smaller pieces. Oh, that's his issue right now. He's got a couple good players. CeeDee Lamb just I think will be good the rest of the season. Their schedule is really nice. Derrick Henry I think he didn't go anywhere, so they're going to use him. They have no reason not to.
hmm
And Kenneth Walker I think will get his usage back up if he doesn't trade him. I think you almost have to try and split Debo or one of your running backs like what you said with like Godwin and Najee because he's just got no players to work with. Kendrick Bourne just tore his ACL. He was okay. He was playable. But now he's
Yeah,
gone. Quentin
it's
Johnston's no
honestly
good.
tough.
It-
Maybe he even has to package as one of his quarterbacks with a
no one
really
needs a
quarterback needy
quarterback. Though.
team.
Who needs a quarterback?
I thought there was
Maybe
one team that
Riley
started
actually,
like,
but Justin Fields is gonna be back, and I'm sure he'll just be like, oh, I'll just wait for Justin
but
Fields.
yeah, I was so curious why the teabag was in there.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I
it's
think
like it's like really hard to rebuild and redraft.
it's
I guess.
impossible. If you get injuries, you have to sell for pennies at the dollar basically,
Does
and
he have
pray
someone on IR?
and pray that Pat Frymouth, and pray that you can those are the guys that you get back, the pennies that you get back, turn into something playable and usable, and just add up to what your other guy was because he can't. I mean, who's he gonna put in this week, right? Quentin Johnston or Darius
Yeah.
Slayton?
So
You can't
maybe
you
even
can't run
sell
it with that.
CD too for two pieces.
I
If
think
someone's willing to pay
running
that.
backs are harder to come by right now. So I think someone would be more likely to split their running backs than they were to split or to like buy or to buy a running back than they would to be buy like CD, for example. There's a lot of good receivers I think right now. So
But then we're talking about the same thing if he sells a running back too.
well, here's the thing though. I think Deontay Foreman's probably got a place for a while. That actually could be another guy though. So what I think he probably has to do, Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker, Debo Samuel, split them into two pieces. Whatever that is, two receivers, two running backs, whatever it turns out to be, that's what you have to do. And then Deontay Foreman, either you sell him now to someone that's going to play the rest of the year, or you wait for his last big game and try to get something back before he's irrelevant again. I don't know when that's going to be. I just think you have to split one of your big guys, Kenneth Walker, Derrick Henry. We'll put
And
CeeDee Lamb in
sell
there.
Laporta too. If Laporta's
There's
value is
there's
where that
absolutely
is,
no way he's selling
he should
Laporta.
he should sell Laporta with someone else to upgrade, and then you just pick up like Logan Thomas, Cole Kmet,
Yeah,
Jake,
I-
Mayer,
yeah.
like
I mean, any of
someone.
them. Let's take a look.
any
I'm
of
gonna look at the tight ends right now that are there. Cole
That's what I
Kmet.
was.
Yeah, well, that's what you're looking at.
Hunter
Okay.
Henry
Yeah,
too.
I mean, there's guys there.
Like
This is.
on average,
I
they'll
don't want
probably
to
score
mention
this
it again, but
amount.
it's just why I felt like it was so bad to do what he did. I don't want.
It's a lesson.
I will
We're all
say
learning.
Parker did say he's not going to trade anymore, so we'll see what happens.
Well,
there. But
we'll see
if
he
you had to pick one of these guys
trade.
to split, last thing before we move on, if you had to pick one of these guys to split, which one would you split based on what you think get the most out of and everything like that, and who you think is the best to get rid of off your team?
Well, in a vacuum, I think I would be more willing to split CD. Like if people were offering me wide receiver depth, like he didn't have a need at all, Parker, and then everyone else didn't really have a need either. I would rather split CD and keep Derrick Henry, just
Sure.
because,
More
like you
guaranteed
said,
usage.
yeah, running backs are harder to come by too. I think Titans offense, like I feel like Derrick Henry can only really go up from here. And I don't know, maybe Cowboys start shifting back to the run too.
I think they've kind of figured out that that's not going to work. From what it seems like, the
I
last two
want
games.
them to because I have Pollard.
Yeah, I have Fowler too, but I also have CD, I guess, in the other one. But The run's just not working for them. I think they're not running Pollard right is the actual issue, but the pass has been, and hyper focusing CD has been working the past 2 weeks. So I think they will not be running as much as you would hope. Yeah, I think for me, I don't know what his values are now. If you can get something for Debo, I'd just get off of Debo and split him into two. If not, I think I'd probably split Kenneth Walker.
Oh,
Or
thought
I would
it
literally.
would only be between Henry and CD, but I would definitely split Debo too. But it's scary how much it looks like the 49ers rely on Debo also.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as he gets back, he's just going to be super good
Yeah,
again.
but at this point, I know he's only 1 or 2 games behind, whatever it is. But if he loses one more game, Debo doesn't actually come back then next week, then he loses another game because he's still missing starters. It's like you got to make a move at some point if you want to.
Yeah, my real answer, now that I know that I can pick anyone, I would choose Kenneth Walker
Yeah,
because
I think that's a good choice.
I think if someone's willing to buy him, I would totally sell him because I
Mhm.
only see his value kind of going down from here as they're gonna Charbonnet more involved.
Yep, I agree with that. I'd say Walker or Debo. I think you probably have a better chance to sell Walker than you do Debo. So
Well, let's hop over to our matchups this week. We can get right into it with mine against Ryan. I guess before that, do you want to mention our records quickly?
yep. Last week I went 3-3. Dane went 2-4. I'm currently up 3 games on the year in redraft. So this is a tight. I think this will be a tight race to the end, just because our redraft league has been so unpredictable. So I think this will be close. I'm quite excited to see how this pick'em ends.
All right. Well, I better be on my A game this week. Like I said, starting off with me versus Ryan, I did find Charbonnet. He's on Ryan's team right now. To my memory, I don't think I've really been picking Ryan in redraft. And I'm going to stick with my guts. I'm going to choose me. There's really no one on this team besides Mahomes against Miami and Chase against Buffalo that scare me on his team.
Mark Andrews has been pretty good too, to be fair. Those are the 3 guys that I'm pretty certain will produce from every week. The rest of his guys are just wild.
Hmm. Yeah. Like he got a good week out of Dotson last week, and
That's true.
but besides that, I wouldn't like managing his team. So
No.
I'm gonna go with myself, who my team doesn't look great either,
You got the
but
rooks. You got the rooks.
I got some sparks in my lineup.
Absolutely. You got some sparks for sure. I'm also going with you. I like 3 guys on his team. He's got no one on his bench. I mean, Demont being hurt and on bye these past couple weeks has hurt him, but I don't think that would change it all that much. He needs Patrick Mahomes, Jamar Chase, and Mark Andrews to put up like 80 or 90 points combined for him to have a chance, I feel like. So I'm gonna go with you as well.
And I'm loving they did be dirty last week, the Falcons, but this week against Minnesota, come on, baby.
Come
Give me some
on.
points.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Jaron Hall, he's a beast. All right. Well, let's move on to me versus Austin. I have been picking myself quite often, I feel like, in redraft. I think my team is actually pretty good.
Who those running backs though?
Josh Jacobs has been pretty all right.
It's not my job.
And Darrell Henderson has been a good fill-in. That was my best pickup of the year so far, easily. Henderson has done wonders for me. Zach Moss chilling on my bench. I'm never playing him again, and he's always putting up 15 points on my bench. It's actually quite tilting. But Christian McCaffrey's on bye. That's pretty nice for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with me.
Yeah, I actually tried getting some intel before this too because I was curious. I was like, "Are you making any changes, Austin? You keeping Gino and Pacheco on your bench?" And he said yes. So I'm going with you. I think if Gino was in and Pacheco was in over Kareem Hunt, I would have been swayed to choose Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you're pretty hampered by injuries too this week, mainly with the Stafford news.
Oh, yeah.
So he's probably going to be out.
We'll see
Um,
if that really matters. I think it'll be all right.
mhm.
Puka, I think Puka gets enough short yardage shit. Will get enough receptions that it'll probably be all right. He's hurt though, so I don't even know if he's gonna play. That would be rough.
And then the other question I had too was, Why don't you want Chris Godwin for T Higgins?
There's no point. The 1-for-1 is so bad for me. I feel like T
I
Higgins' upside is
mean,
just so much higher. Joe Burrow's finally looking like Joe Burrow again. T Higgins put up like 10 points this past week. He's perfectly fine. I really like T Higgins for the future. If anything, I'd give you Christian Watson, but I doubt you'd do that.
yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
What if I did it during the bye week last week? Then you probably would have accepted.
No. I like T Higgins. I'm pretty sure he'll be all right.
You like a guy that
If anything, I need more depth. I'd need like a 2-for-1 of some kind.
his median's like 2 points, 3 points.
I get that, yeah. Why do you want him then, brother?
Because I need a change up. I need a spark.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe you need
I
some more
love when
safety.
you
You have Tyreek Hill, Kyle Pitts, and Christian Watson.
Kyle Pitts.
That's enough spark plugs.
Kyle Pitts is no spark plug. I don't know why I'm still playing this guy. It's actually insane. He baited me with 2 like 10-point games, and then he's just back to sucking.
Yeah.
Because I was
But
down to not play him anymore and pick up some new guy. But then
But
he put
Heineke now.
12. That's
Anytime.
actually true. You know what? Kyle Pitts to the moon.
Yeah. Give me Kyle Pitts for Chris Godwin.
I'd think
I'm not
about that.
doing that.
I was like, I'd think about that.
You should smash accept on that.
Yeah, I would have, but I couldn't seem too excited.
Okay, next matchup, I got Ben and Peter. I really don't want to talk about any of these players. Like, when I was going through them all, this is the most disgusting matchup
Yeah.
that I think I've seen in a while. It's just a
not
bunch of just poo piles.
Yeah. Bunch of poop piles. Damian Pierce and AJ Dillon has a 1-2 punch at the running back position. That's not very good. I don't like either team. I think Joe Burrow's kind of back. I think Keenan Allen's a beast, although they do play the Jets, to be fair. I don't like either of these teams, but I'm going Ben.
I also went with Ben. I think for me, the deciding factor was just Ben as Saquon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think, the only player I'm pretty excited about besides Keenan Allen, who's also on Ben's team.
Yeah.
So that's why I went
it's a
over
rough,
there.
It's a rough matchup. We can just quickly get off that one.
Yeah, right over to Ethan and Parker. Parker, the last place team that we briefly talked about in the beginning. But yeah, it's not looking good for Parker with
It's
Laporta
looking like
and
a
Judy
slaughter
on
for me.
bye. So yeah, I had Ethan chalked up from the get-go.
Yeah, me too. Not much to talk about there. I think the buys hurt, but I don't know if it would have mattered if those two were even playing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Jake and Riley next. Still a little confused by Riley's lineup. He has Carr, Heineke, Jordan
wants
Love,
the triple
Kenny Pickett.
the triple bear stack is what he wants.
But why would you want that?
Because Teabag is the truth.
And Roshan Johnson is a fart.
He was a little farty. Yeah, you're not wrong. This one was pretty clear to me as well.
Like, I'd play Dobbs over Roshan.
There's a lot of guys you could play over a
Well,
lot of guys.
not on his team. He has everyone on bye.
Oh, that's true. I thought you were going to go with QB wise because there's a lot of people you can play with Teabag. But yeah, because Etienne and Javante, I would play Dobbs over Roshan, and then that was the only change I would make. God, he has so many Bears and Packers. Oh, my Lord. Just gross.
And then on the other side, Jake doesn't even have a quarterback in his lineup, but
Yeah.
he's got Danny Dimes
Who's
coming
probably
back
not
from
gonna play,
injury. What?
Is he playing?
Yeah, he is.
He's playing?
He was cleared.
Oh, full participant. Oh, let's
Yeah.
go. I just figured.
Yeah, I know my guys.
I figured he wasn't gonna play the rest of the season, dude.
Who the hell else was going to be playing?
Fucking Tommy.
Probably
DeVito.
would have been Saquon.
Tommy DeVito.
Wildcat. Danny
That would've been
DeVito.
cool.
Man, that would have been lit.
That would be sick.
Jersey Mike's.
Oh my god, that shit actually grinds my gears, dude. Look at Jersey Mike's commercials. I'm
But
going with
yeah,
Jake.
yeah, I don't think we really have to talk about it.
Yep.
We're both going with Jake.
So I think we're exactly the same. Going into the last matchup, Luke
Take it away.
and Sam. I'm riding with the new hotness, Mr. Bananarama Will Levis. and Sam. Sam's team is just on paper looks so good.
Dude, just wait till
So
I
good.
go.
Oh, wait, what?
Are you done?
Yeah, I mean, I said what I needed to say.
My notes say on paper, Sam's team looks so good, but I'm going with Luke this week because
Oh,
I can't fully buy into Will Levis week one.
I
We
love it.
talked about it a little bit
Yeah.
when you saw me this week, but all those throws were just yeah, okay. D Hop, you go get it. And it
That's
was
what he's known for, though, his
just
arm
one
talent. He can
yeah,
bomb balls.
but no one's gonna be playing one safety on him again.
That's true, but the Steelers are not particularly good against wide receivers, so
Okay, but also what is Will Levis's weakest? What was his biggest knock in the draft? His pass protection awareness.
yeah, that's true.
He's gonna
That's
get
true. That's
knocked
very
out.
true. I like that thought process. At least you made it so we were different. Otherwise, we would have been the full same, and you wouldn't be able to gain any ground on me. But now you can at least get one game, no matter what, or at least you have the chance. So
Yes, sir.
one difference only. That's our matchups for the week.
Do you
Dane.
think
Oh, go ahead.
if Watson actually plays, would Sam sneak in Watson over Levis?
I think I would ride the hotness just because it's fun.
Yeah, I would do that
And
too.
Deshaun Watson has been so poopy, he probably gets hurt again when he comes back.
Or Baker Mayfield. He also has him. He's
Baker's a
Ross
dog.
had 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
God dang.
I got Tua and I got Kyler on my IR. Kind
And you
of.
got no one in Dynasty this week.
What do you mean? Well, we'll get to that later. I got guys. I got guys.
Yeah, you'll have to stay tuned for the Dynasty episode. But that wraps up our redraft pick'ems. Like I said in the beginning of this episode, the trade deadline for the NFL league closed. So there were a couple big last minute ones. In this episode, we're gonna go over the Washington edge rushers and then Rasul Douglas. What I guess out of the 3 of them, which one kind of piques your interest the most?
Well, both the Montez Sweat and the Chase Young one, mostly the Chase Young one, I'm mad that the Niners were the one that got him for a 3rd-round pick. Just because I know
the
the
Cowboys?
Cowboys are going to face them in the playoffs and they're going to lose. And then it's going to be annoying, and I'm sure Chase Young will have a part in that. And to know that Cowboys could have just given up a 3rd-round pick to get Chase Young. I don't know the logistics of everything, but seems like a pretty
You
good price
guys
to
would have
pay.
had to pay a premium
Probably.
to get a edge rusher from Washington.
That's very true, actually. So for one thing, it's good because he's no longer on Washington, and while we don't really have a issue with Washington, the Cowboys, the only time we get into issues is because of pass protection. So I mean, that'll be nicer having both of those guys gone. But I was surprised about the Rasul Douglas one. That one actually surprised me. I didn't expect, honestly, the Packers to make any moves in general. I don't know why. I just didn't expect it. But I need your thoughts on this because I don't know too well how good of a player Rasul is and how important he was, but it seems like he got a pretty good deal back.
Yeah. First off, for the chase and the sweat, I want to touch on that. At first I was like, holy cow, why did the Bears pay a 2nd for Sweat when the Niners paid a
I
3rd
think Sweat
for
is just better, right?
Young? And yeah, I think it's just a lot of people are still stuck on that name value, but Sweat has definitely had the better career so
Yeah.
far. I mean, Young hasn't been able to really be healthy, so we'll see.
Mhm.
But I think that's going to be pretty cool to see Nick Bosa and Chase Young coming at the quarterback at the same time.
It's gonna be terrifying. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I'm kind of just confused too why the Bears did that. Like, I don't think they're in that phase of rebuilding yet where they start signing premier players.
Yeah, that was interesting. That it was It's gonna be like I saw someone say it's gonna be like Khalil Mack, like when they signed Khalil Mack and then just never really got to use him for
Yeah.
anything because they
Like,
just weren't
I
ready.
mean,
They
yeah.
weren't ready for a guy like that yet. So
They have a new GM, so I guess
maybe
like
he'll
he's
make
just
something
trying to make his stamp and like a splash move. Like you have to get the team excited about something, I
Sure.
guess. Like that could be your spark plug.
Yep.
And then yeah, Douglas, I was pretty shocked to see that he I think I saw a tweet earlier. He was the fifth ranked cornerback in the league by PFF.
Mhm.
Um, so he's been playing pretty good this year. The only thing, at least from watching the games, that annoys me is obviously the coverage that we call, but that's not his fault. And then his tackling is pretty sus at sometimes. He
Gotcha.
just puts his head down and doesn't see where he's going and just misses. We whiff a lot. That's probably our coaching. He's probably just going to get better in Buffalo.
It seems I feel like when you guys get rid of cornerbacks like that, they tend to do all right.
Yeah, Casey Hayward,
Yep, that's who I was thinking of immediately.
um,
I know. I don't think he's a.
Demarius Randall
I don't
got a
think he's a
little
cornerback. He's
better.
probably. I think he was a safety with Micah Hyde. He was pretty good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, pairing up with Micah in Buffalo
Yep.
too.
But I just want to. Do you like just getting the third back? I almost think what I'm assuming is
No,
the no.
no, I don't like that
Oh,
because
okay.
we also gave a fifth
It
with
was a
it.
six, I thought.
No, we gave a fifth, which is going to be a high fifth, and then we got back a low third. So
Well, yeah, it's not that much of a difference, and you give up. So I think they're just looking to get any high pick. Maybe they're in the trying to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes here. Get stack another third round pick,
I
stack
don't
up
think a
picks to
third
try
round pick
and
is going to do
okay,
it.
but okay, let's say
Like, what did the
they said that
Panthers trade for?
I don't know. All I'm
Yeah,
saying is, they stacked up a couple picks. Then they're like, okay, we need a little bit more on top. Whoever is the first round pick. If they don't get that, then like, boom, this third rounder that we got, bang. And they're like, all right, deal.
yes, maybe.
So like maybe I don't know. They probably
So
just don't think
if the car, no, who would even? Because I was thinking
the
we would
Bears have the one
package
pick. Oh, the Bears would never trade with the fucking Packers.
like it would be the Cardinals
Yeah,
who would trade it to probably because
Kyler.
sounds like they're going to be sticking with Kyler. And originally I was thinking, okay, we're going to trade um, Jordan Love, our first, our 2 seconds, and something else for Caleb Williams. But I don't think you can trade Love for
Lo-
anything.
I
I
will
mean,
say
maybe you
Love has
send
not
him.
looked all that bad. I don't think from what
No,
I've
I want
seen.
to
It's
stick with him
just
too.
a lot of his guys. Maybe it's the play calling, or maybe it's just his young guys aren't really doing what they need to be doing yet. They're not that good yet. They got to come into their own. But I don't think it's all on Jordan Love. I think he's looked okay.
What I want is the Packers to get the third pick. They're in the
Marvin.
position to draft Marvin Harrison, and I want to see what Goody does. Does he finally
Does he
take
pull the
a
trigger?
fucking first round wide receiver?
No
Or is he
way.
just going to be like, now we really needed a tackle
Yeah,
this year?
100%. That's what'll happen.
I mean, that's our biggest need right now is O line
But
because it's
but then he'll just
shitting
trade back. He'll
everything up.
just trade back and then get the extra picks and then go tackle, and then you'll get some extra tight end later in the draft, and
Maybe
then
if we get like a vet wide receiver and then a star rookie tackle, I'd be fine with that. Otherwise, I want Marvin Harrison. Then we can
yeah,
have two freaks on the field,
true, very true, very true.
and Watson's freakier.
Watson, have you seen? He's actually like I saw some stat. He's like 11th in like it's called like get open percentage, whatever it is, like where he's just literally wide open all the time.
Probably because the Packers receivers are running the same route, and Watson just like takes the open
Yeah,
spot, and the other guy gets
I think
covered.
I think he'll only be better. A lot of people are freaking out about Christian Watson right now. I think he's still pretty good. I'm, I think he's
I'm,
all right.
I'm just waiting for it to turn around, something to change. They keep saying every week, yeah, we're changing some. We're doing a team review.
Hmm.
We're shaking it up, what our process, and the same shit happens every single week. Not into it.
Yeah, I haven't fully watched a lot of the games because I feel like I don't know. Either there's other games I want to watch, or it's like the Cowboys are on or something. But I think I will probably be watching it this week just because of the timing. It's before Cowboys game, so I'll actually get a chance to watch it.
Yeah.
But
Last thing, maybe that was the point of the Rasul trade is if you play good, you can get shipped to a better team. Or maybe there's some locker room problems with Rasul and they're just like, watch this, you're out of the team.
yeah, that's very possible. I could see that as well.
I'm just hoping they're doing something smart.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, more trade talk and our dynasty pick'ems in the next episode. So stay tuned and thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching.